All right, and it's time for us to get into the dailies, and so we're going to go right into it. Nana Tafo Boateng has joined me on the set this morning. Nana, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, David.
Yeah?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Golden. I'm
Great
golden.
stuff. Great stuff.
Yesterday.
Yeah, quite interesting.
Supreme Court.
It's interesting. I had to say through about a 4-hour show.
Yep, I saw that.
And it's interesting. I have no background in law. But it looks like the interest is coming.
The interest is coming. When you dabble with current affairs at the point, it starts to do that kind of thing to you, you know.
I was sitting there, I was listening to, the students of law do their thing. And I was wondering, so is this what you go through when you host the question of law?
It's like that. The question of law is the same. It's like that, you know. With the question of law, then you suddenly, you know, and it starts to tickle you. And you're like, this thing, you know.
I go if you do, then again. Oh, it's all good. The law is a beautiful thing. And I mean, it's quite fascinating to observe how these players in the legal space embark on their legal gymnastics and all in court. I mean, it's good. But then when the authority stamps the authority, then you get to know. I mean, there was quite a lot of ambiguity when the stay of execution order was given. But then again, yesterday we all heard the judgment. This is actually even on the application by the speaker for the courts to attend its own decision, staying the execution of the speaker's ruling. But then you listen to how the speaker, the Chief Justice, in delivering the ruling from the panel that sat on the matter, broke the issues down. So she put it under 3 themes, which themes, of course, were the issues raised in the application by the speaker. One having to do with jurisdiction, one having to do with natural law, and one having to do with service, how the speaker was served and all that. And I think it was fascinating, quite spot on.
I was intrigued by the fact that, yes, you if you're going to serve on the speaker personally, it's only Mondays. But if you're serving the legal department, then any day,
any other day,
you know. Then I think that what we have to be careful of is politicians sometimes take advantage of maybe the intricacies and play into spaces that dribble all of us.
They're
right?
smart. See, I wouldn't doubt it if it is the job of someone to sit and look for the fine lines between some of these things and exploit it. You get it? And the speaker is no mean a person. He is a legal luminary himself. And he's a fine politician, having served as MP for how long? And so he knows where. What buttons to press?
Where he can pass.
Exactly. He knows how to maneuver his way around some of these things.
On the day where on that Tuesday where they all met at Parliament and there were the military men on the ground, did you notice how upset the NDC caucus were? Seeing the military, what are they doing here, and
I'd actually warned them not to show up.
But we found out later
it was at the behest
of the speaker, and apparently it's something they do when they've had a
standard
break. Standard practice. So it's like we that are ignorant. You are playing us and playing our emotions, but you know it's what you do.
That's what I'm saying. They are smart. They understand. They know how to press the right buttons to get us talking. And of course, to have their way. Politics is a popularity contest, right?
I guess so.
You need to stay in the media. You need to be in the news. So they know how to trigger that, and it's fine.
Well, fool me once. I'm the fool. You ain't gonna get me twice.
Anyways, let's get into the various headlines this morning. And I'll start off with the Ghanaian Times. Front page says, at 53rd Cadet Officers Graduation, we need fair, firm election policing. This is the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, speaking. If you jump to page 3, there's a story that says Cerebral Palsy, Autism sufferers, target of sexual abuse in Akyem, Tafo.
Oh, no.
Why are people like this?
Oh, no.
You want to prey on the vulnerable.
The vulnerable,
Like, I don't know.
It's disgusting.
Anyways, Boko conflict. CJ orders closure of 7 courts in Upper East. and 160,000 persons living with HIV on antiretroviral treatment. This is attributed to Dr. Abdul. That's it for the Ghanaian Times. If we jump to the back page, there's some politics there. Answer questions posed to you. This is John Dramani Mahama to Mahamudu Bawumia.
Okay.
That's on the back page of the Ghanaian Times.
All right, let's go to the Daily Guide. It says here, MPs vacant seats. Supreme Court throws out Speaker. Let's debate. Bawumia fires back at Mahama. Prempeh College marks Diamond Jubilee, rather. And we have VIP Lords IGP for police reforms. ESLA launches e-skills for jobs. And we have iRisk shines at Club 100 Awards. Those are the headlines on the front page of the Daily Guide. Okay. One that doesn't seem to have made any headlines at all is Infantsipim taking down
the National
everybody else.
Space.
Yeah, taking down everybody else, you know. Yeah. So good for them.
We used to call it Brella.
Yeah, I remember. Brella. It's true. I remember that.
Anyways, I take it to the Anchor. The Anchor newspaper says Supreme Court knocks out Speaker Bagbin again as Chief Justice fumes. Quote, "This is a constitution crisis." Bawumia unveils a go ride for taxi drivers. Uber bold others to face stiff competition. Amewu can't win Hohoi seat again. Alhaji Sinari fires. Mahama goes berserk over 50 questions. And East Legon demolition contempt case hearing reveals identity of masterminds. That's it for the Anchor newspaper this morning.
All right, the Chronicle says Dampare is a visionary leader. He has brought tangible results since assuming office. Coming from Bawumia. Bawumia launches Go Ride. NDC has failed to recognize contributions of Volta region. We have Great Coat halts unauthorized excavation under high tension lines in Ayawaso West. Okay. And then we have Supreme Court throws out Bagbin. The scripture for today on the front page of the Chronicle newspaper. It says, "One generation shall praise your works to another and declare your mighty acts." Psalm 145, verse 4.
Amen.
Amen.
ABC newspaper says Mahama added 343 billion Ghana cedis to gross public debt, IPG reveals. NPP targets 500,000 votes in Volta region, and Supreme Court throws out Bagbin's application. That's it for the front page of the ABC newspaper.
All right, I'll take you to the Political Digest. And it says here, Bawumia pledges to restore powers of chiefs. When did the chiefs lose power? That is restoring their power. Okay. We won't go back. We're moving forward with Bawumia, traders declare. And I don't know what class Mahama thinks he's in, says Akufo-Addo. And teachers are 100% better under our tenure. Dr. Prempeh is speaking. So that's the Political Digest there.
Right, I'll take you to the business analyst finally from me. Bawumia launches Go Ride. Pensions funds grow by 33%. Industry remains healthy. ADB MD is Public Sector CEO of the Year. Let's use our platforms to tackle climate crisis, GJA president tells journalists. And GFIM trade dips by 57%. This is according to a report. That's it for the business analyst.
All right, let's take a look at what citynewsroom.com has.
Okay.
Parliament to reconvene early November, Bagbin assures Council of State. We have insurance sector adjust investment strategies amid DDEP impact. Reverend Lawrence Tete apologizes to UG over HIV remarks. Supreme Court ruling on vacant seats solid. Bobby Banson speaking. And concerning election 2024, it's absurd to term Ghana as one constituency. Sami Dako is speaking. And then we have, let me give you one more. We'll help resolve parliamentary impasse. Council of State assures Bagbin. And so That's what we have. Oh, and we have the Mfansipim story here.
Okay.
Mfansipim School beats Augusta School with 1 point to win 2024 NSMQ. All right, so those are some of the stories on citynewsroom.com. Kindly go over to citynewsroom.com or channelOnenews.com for your credible news updates. Let's get into some details.
All right, I'll take you to page 3 of the Ghanaian Times, and story says 4 vacant seats case. SC to give judgment November 11. Story by Malik Suleimana, and it reads, the Supreme Court, SC, will on November 11 deliver judgment on interpretation of Article 97(1)G and H of the 1992 Constitution regarding the declaration of 4 seats vacant in Parliament by the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin. The court was invited to interpret this constitutional provision after rival meanings were placed on the provision in the process leading to the declaration of 3 new Patriotic Party NPP seats and 1 National Democratic Congress NDC seat vacant. Now, prior to adjourning proceedings, a 5-member panel presided over by the Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Saki Tokonu, dismissed an application by the Speaker asking the court to set aside its ruling against the declaration of the 4 seats vacant. On October 18, the Supreme Court ordered Mr. Bagbin to stay his decision on the vacant seats, pending the status of the affected seats by the Supreme Court. Yeah, so basically the angle this paper is taking it from is on the substantial or the substantive case at the Supreme Court, where the jurisdiction of the court is being invoked to interpret the Constitution.
Okay.
And so, I mean, basic law will tell you that the Constitution empowers the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court only to deal with matters of interpretation of the Constitution. And so a provision of the Constitution basically means what the Supreme Court says it means.
That's all.
That's all. Yeah. And that is what the leader of the MPP caucus in Parliament, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, is in court seeking an interpretation of the 1992 Constitution, Article 97, Clause 1, Subclause G and H, on the declaration of these seats, or what the provision says on how a seat can be declared vacant in court. So that actually is the actual case in court. What happened yesterday is the Speaker filing an application to the court to have the court set aside its own initial order on the stay of execution of the Speaker's previous ruling. So, I mean, it's interesting when you listen to the lawyers and the judges go at it like that. But so what the story is telling us is that on November 11, there will be judgment on the actual case. Yesterday, you noticed that in the dying moments of the case, the CJ, the Chief Justice, wanted lawyers for the Speaker to file all the applications so by Friday, so that the case can be expedited. The actual case, the substantive case, can be expedited. However, the AG had issue even with the attachment of the Speaker in the matter, because constitutionally, in constitutional matters, it is the AG that represents the state. And so he raised issue with the attachment of the Speaker. And even the private legal representation for the Speaker, Mr. Thaddeus, sorry. And so, I mean, the panel sitting on the application was not the original panel sitting on the original case as filed by Afenyo-Markin. And so the CJ had to, that panel rose to have the actual panel come and sit. And they gave the November 11 date for judgment on the actual case as filed by Afenyo-Markin.
Interesting times. Well, let me take you to the Chronicle, and in here we have Gridco halts unauthorized excavation under high tension lines in Ayawaso West, and I don't know why anybody will be excavating under high tension cables, but the story is here. It came up somewhere last week. We had calls to that effect, that the space had been given to a private developer. But you can't even build under, you're not supposed to build under high tension. And so Gridco had moved in to stop them. Efforts are being made to get to the Ayawaso Municipal Assembly to get some clarity on this matter. What happened? Because the allegation is that the assembly had given the space or the land
to a private person. And so we'll follow up to get some more details on this.
Anyway, so the story here says, in a bold intervention, engineers from the Ghana Gridco company recently disrupted an unauthorized construction attempt by a group of Chinese nationals working under high-tension power lines in Ayawaso West. Now, the land located along Shiashi Street near South Legon and close to the University of Ghana Medical Hospital is owned by Gridco and strictly restricted for public safety, given its proximity to high voltage transmission lines. Now, the incident began on October 20th when Gridco officials discovered heavy machinery on site with workers actively excavating under the high tension lines. Now, this move immediately raised concerns among Gridco's engineers, who saw it as a serious violation of their safety guidelines. Now, as a result, Gridco quickly dispatched a task force to halt the unauthorized activity. Though Gridco's swift response initially stopped the excavation, reports surfaced that the workers later returned a week later, this time escorted by a group of municipal guards, allegedly from the Ayawaso West Municipal Assembly.
Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, we've received similar reports, and so we are working to get some response to this.
You know,
but I mean, it's not even safe. The level of radiation under those
and that's
tensions.
That's what I'm saying. The recklessness. You know, I mean, for me, it's not. I don't want to discuss.
It is not a habitable place.
I don't want to discuss law. I don't want to discuss propriety. Listen. It's a health issue. It's a safety issue.
Clearly.
It's unacceptable, and we have laws. And the people who are also custodians of municipal enforcement, allegedly, are part of the people who are, supporting this.
I mean, it can be interrogated further. So, like I'm saying, we're working to get to fleshing it up so that we know exactly who on whose doorstep to lay the blame and how to rectify the situation. But kudos to Gridco and its task force for moving in swiftly to avert what I think is a disaster in waiting.
No, but it will happen. You see,
because you see, if you make the place habitable, right? We've seen in other areas where a simple spark has led to serious devastation. And this place is full of high tensions. The amount of voltage going through there, the radiation that emanates from some of these high tension posts, you wouldn't want to have humans living or even working there.
Already we have shacks and these slums under some high tension cables around the city. We do, we have it, you see. So, and it's already dangerous as it is, much less having proper construction work going on. That you're going to build what? Under these
I think
places.
that the assembly should be proactive and show some level of commitment. And unless, of course, they are complicit as they are being accused of. But I think they should move in now and rectify the situation before the worst happens. This is quite a disturbing story in the Ghanaian Times. I'm still staying on page 3. Headline says, Cerebral Palsy, Autism sufferers target of sexual abuse at Akyem Tafo. And stories from Amatechua and Peduajiman from Akyem Tafo. And it reads, some women, young girls living with cerebral palsy, autism and other forms of disabilities at Akyem Tafo in the Buakwa North municipality of the Eastern region have become targets of sexual abuse. The Ghanaian Times investigations have revealed. Now, most of the men who perpetrate this dastardly act within the community most often deploy coercion or financial inducement as bait to get to their victims. Now, in addition, those who fall victim to the abuse are bribed not to disclose the identity of the attackers, or in some cases are threatened not to disclose their predicament to anyone. Now, our investigations also uncovered that most of the victims were targeted under the assumption that they could not effectively identify or report their attackers due to their disabilities. Some of the victims had been left pregnant, while others had also delivered children with special needs without proper care. The most recent incident occurred on August 14 this year, involving a 25-year-old woman with special needs known as Mercy, not her real name, and Francis Mensah, aka Papa Taylor, who is 59 years old. Papa Taylor was alleged to have raped Mercy after he had sent her on an errand to buy him porridge and delivered it to his house, where he pounced on her and forcefully had sex with her.
Goodness.
What has this world come to?
Goodness.
What has this world come to? The person already is in a state where they require special care.
Yes.
You are not in a position to provide that.
Yes.
However,
you're taking advantage.
In your own selfish wisdom, you think this is an opportunity to satisfy your lust.
Yeah.
Are you human?
That's the question. Are you human? Because human.
Do you have blood running through your veins? Do you have a heart sitting in that body of yours? Do you have children? Do you have relatives? Do you consider that this could happen to anyone, including your own relatives?
Yeah. I don't get it.
Let's get serious in this country.
I don't get it.
Sometimes I think the law is too soft on some of these matters.
No, it's the enforcement, you see, because all these things, we have regulations, we have laws, we have, things are stipulated clearly in our constitution. And it's funny because it's when the trouble comes that you discover that, so we have a law for this already.
Exactly.
But enforcement is just so weak.
Well, we should tidy up the enforcement.
It's so weak.
And if we feel that even with enforcement, the provisions are not punitive enough, maybe they should be amended.
Revise them,
because people need to stop this. This is outright nonsense. Excuse my language.
No,
this is outright nonsense.
Need to be excused.
Why would you want to prey on the less privileged? Why would you want to prey on the vulnerable in society? It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. It doesn't.
You are a matured human being. If you feel you want to satisfy your lust, go out there.
You have other people that
go have a proper conversation with a sane human being, a matured, whole and hearty human being. Get to an agreement, have an understanding, and go do what you want to do. Nobody cares. But you don't take advantage of people who are less privileged in society. A person with cerebral palsy. A person with autism.
They can hardly help themselves.
Are you serious? This is heartbreaking.
It's unfortunate.
And these people, I don't think should be forgiven. And you see, family relatives should not go behind closed doors and go, young Bekan will fear.
Yes, exactly. This is where the state needs to step up, to its
God forbid, but this does not cross my quarters anyway.
No, but I'm serious. The state needs to step up to its responsibility to protect the vulnerable, Anyway.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Nana, thank you.
Thank you,
very much.
Dave.
All right. Okay.